All right. Hello. Hi. If anyone's around. Hello. We get this transitioned over and boom. There we go. Hi. Hopefully, I don't know why I looked all the way over here for the camera. Hi. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a decent Friday. Um, it's been okay here. Hey, Frank. Oh, thank you, Frank. Yeah, uh of course, after I like said that in chat, well, no, I think it was when I think earlier I was telling someone I was like, yeah, no headache today, and then like I started feeling it a little bit earlier, but then it kind of didn't go any further than that, so that's good. I think I just got some good sleep last. I mean, I didn't sleep a long time, but I think it was just a nice restful, at least 6 hours, of good restful sleep. I think. Is there a recliner in the house? No. Well, no, I take that back. The couch upstairs has like recliners on it, like that you can pop your feet up. I don't usually use them. I'm not a big recliner person. I'm not a big like put my feet up person. Not yet, at least. Give me a few years, maybe then. Let me turn this music up just a bit here. But yeah. So, I have not worked on this for a bit. So, hey, Bear. So, I think the last time I streamed, I also hadn't worked on it for a bit, and then I worked on it for a couple of days, and then I jumped back into it. I'm still frantically working. Frantically? I'm still working on getting this in my schedule to work on every day. We'll put it that way. Making the time in my schedule to work on it has failed. Are we getting more 3 a.m. dinkum tonight? Probably not. I think, 3 a.m. for me. Yeah. I think that Dan's trying to limit his like staying up time from here on out. He had a night the other day where like I don't think he'd mind me saying this, but where he couldn't fall asleep, like that 5:30 a.m. dinkum session we had East Coast time. Yeah. But he still couldn't fall asleep, so he was up pretty much all day yesterday. Yeah. For me, it's good for headaches. Close eyes, lean back, also no noise or ambient sound. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get them that often, honestly, to have any tips or tricks for them. I hardly ever get headaches, so that's why it was super, like, kind of concerning for me, which only makes the headache worse because it just gives you more tension. Yeah, so I don't know. But we're better today, so I'm still, like, oddly tired and exhausted, but I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think mine. I haven't been to the doctor in we'll just say a while, all right? We'll just say a while, but I think I'm okay. Signs of high blood pressure. I was already looking at like signs of early menopause, and I was like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I mean, it's possible, right? It's possible I have high blood pressure. I feel like I'm okay. Other than the headaches that I was having, but I don't know. We'll see. If it continues being a problem, I'll go to a clinic or something. But it gets better. It gets better. Oh, okay. All right. Why am I looking at a shot list? That's not what I need to be seeing right now. So I'm just gonna put this over here. Oh, whoops. Another thing I have to look into, like my mouse sometimes randomly like repopulates back onto my stylus screen. Even if I'm in the middle of doing something. Admitted it was during work, got it fit tested for a respirator. The on-site nurse told me that my BP was the highest she'd seen of anyone walking. Jesus. Problem with BP is not many symptoms, i.e. silent killer. Thanks, Frank. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I guess anyone can get it, right? Like, I guess anyone, especially if it runs in your family, can get high blood pressure. Like, I want to say, like, I drink a lot of water. I eat pretty good. Like, I eat vegetables, lean meats. If I do eat meat, oh yeah, Bear. I mean, Frank, high blood pressure is another thing that runs in the family. Okay. All right. So welcome to another Stormfall Initiative. Get yourself a cup and just keep track. Oh, me? Well, how much is a BP cup? How much is a blood pressure tester? Can I buy that on Amazon? Oh, Rings of Power is out. Yes. Blood pressure monitor. Okay, like $37, $30. Okay. Bestseller is $37. Amazon's choice is $50, of course. I mean, it'd probably work, right? I think the last time I was into a doctor and they tested my blood pressure was like, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. It's been too long and I'm embarrassed now. Because I don't have a lot of like health issues. And if I do, I just handle it. I just handle it myself. And they go away, you know? Yeah. Give me a couple of seconds here. 1, 2, 6, 7. Maybe about 8 years since I've been to the doctor. It's been about 8 years, I think. Look, if it continues happening, I'll go to a clinic. I just haven't had anything that's been like, I haven't had anything in 8 years. It's been like, you need to go to the doctor. It's just kind of like, you know, I know why certain things happen. And I'm like, okay, like I just need to do this. And I do it and it goes away. You know, do stuff to fix it. But I don't think I'm the only person that doesn't go to the doctor unless they absolutely have to. Oh, well, you know, if it becomes a problem, it becomes a problem, and I'll go. All right. Oh, yeah, we were here, right? Now, there's probably only be like another 2-hour stream today just because I got work. So probably, but since I started late, probably around like 3:15 is when I'll start wrapping up. I have some yogurt here to eat as a snack. Where'd my yogurt go? Okay. Where'd my yogurt go? Where'd it go? Oh. Kaylin was thrown. And then we have her hitting the ground, the mummy laughing, and everyone coming to help her. So far this looks good. So far, I'm good with this. All right, let's see. Probably this would be the closest I'd have to zoom in, probably. Okay, let me see. All right, let me. I'm just trying to think Emil's clothing. I might need to pull up the group picture. Excuse me for a second. I wonder if I save that on the proper thing here. Probably not, because that would make things way too easy. Okay, thank you, Frank. Stream. Let's see, stream stuff. Alright, I just got... Okay, so I didn't save it there, of course, because why would I? Why would I? Let's try Stormfall. Nope. Let's go here. Try this. I think it's in here somewhere. Okay, there's the new one, which he's also in that one, so I could look off of that one if the other one's not here. Oh, well, we have this thing, which I think is all of the old ones. I'm gonna go ahead and open a new one as well. Oh god, let's see. I think I just see this one if it's. Oh no, that's a new one. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Although Emil's here. Oh, no, that's the old one. No. Wait. That's the new one. Yeah. Okay, well this should be fine. Actually, let me just open up the old group picture of everyone, and that'll be fine. Okay. Cool. Alright, let me put this to the side. Right, who was back here? Was that Imracina, I think? Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh wait, she didn't have this outfit on. What did she have? It was like a green dress, I think. Dang it, I'm gonna have to find that old picture. After all. Let's see. Sheba. Let me just search in here for Stormfall. Ah, there it is. Okay. All right, so that's all I have here. I'm not sure what this nonsense is. This, like... It's not... I don't know. Might just been something extra. Alright, let me try to... Let's see, how do I want to do... I don't think I've established, but doing the previous comic of what the coloring is in this room. Let's do this. I've kind of went back and forth with different blues and browns and greens. But I can find something. There was a certain, I think I went mostly brown in the back here. Yeah. Then it got more blue, kind of bluish green grays as you get closer to the sarcophagus. So I might just mimic that. You might be able to keep the same intensity then. Not sure I want this exactly a perfect line. Oh. I'm getting hungry for my yogurt. Dag nabbit. It's the same color as your pants. That's okay. I'm not gonna like that. I'm not gonna like it. Maybe if we cut it shorter? Maybe. I'm not having this exactly like, you know, trying to keep it a little bit loose and a little bit illustrative than like a little bit loose in the illustration style, I guess, then. Okay, that's the door. Which I have here as arched, but it's not arched, so let's just fill that in just a bit. I've been watching like some movies. I started watching movies while I am doing, like, usually if I'm planning out storyboards, I can't really listen to anything because like I have to think. But if I'm just like filling in information or doing colored storyboards and just filling in the color, I can listen while I work. And I've been watching like just random movies on Netflix. Like critically acclaimed movies or from critically acclaimed writers, and it reminds me of when I used to like watch mostly that stuff back in college, and sometimes I just don't agree. I'm just like, why did this win awards? I don't understand. Yeah. Which I understand that like award shows or award committees are usually like very like, I can't think of the right word, but you know, they have their favorites and they have people that they want to win, whether they actually made a good product or not. They're very biased, I guess, is the best term that I can think of. Yeah, there's been a couple that I was like, oh, this is actually really like well made and good, and I like it. All right, so the problem here is that, well, I like the idea of like just having it like the color not go completely across like it actually should. It looks okay, so maybe if I do this, it won't look as like I don't know, like the room's crooked or like we're looking at a Dutch angle or something. Which is not the intention I'm going for. Okay, so I don't mind that. How does it flow? Up, shatter, crash. She lands. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Yeah, okay. All right. Do we want to even do a floor, or do we just want to keep it just that splash of color in the back? Let me see. Well, it goes on 2, 3, 2 is pretty much the same. The first panel is pretty much the same panel, except Kaylin lands, and the mummy is in a slightly different position, and people are getting closer to Kaylin. Which this is still doable with what we got. It might actually just kind of like, I feel like it might kind of like draw you to the action that you need to be looking at and not like at all of the extra stuff personally. Let's just do that for the next one too, and we'll see how it reads. And if not, we can always fill in more information later. Alright, we have a weird, like, orange on the outside of this. Let me see if I can... Yeah, I watched this one movie called Beguiled. Then what does beguiled mean? What is the actual definition for beguiled? Charm or enchant, sometimes in a deceptive way. Okay, well that makes a lot of sense then. I was not considering beguiled to have that. I wasn't thinking that was the definition. Or literary is help time pass pleasantly. Okay. To beguile some of the time they went to the movie theater. That's the literary term. There's a verb, which is how they, like, the beguiled. Yeah. Okay. It was such a weird movie. Like, spoiler alert, so mute if you're interested in watching this movie. That's not very good. So like it has like stars in it: Kirsten Dunst, Nicole Kidman. It has Colin Farrell. Yeah, Colin Firth. It has Colin Firth in it. I always get those two names mixed up, even though they're two completely different types of actors. So Colin Firth is in it. So like big names, and then also what's her name? I'm trying to think. There's another actress, younger, but I'm never going to think of her name. Actually. Oh, Dakota Fanning's sister, which I can't think of her name, but her younger sister, is in it as well. But yeah. So it's about this, like, so spoiler alert again. Fancy Fanning, yeah. It's about this, like, soldier. So it's back in, like, the Civil War times. So you have the Yanks and you have the Confederates. These people live in Georgia, I think, at the time. I think they live in Georgia. And it's a school for girls. So it's like most of the girls have went home for the summer, but there's like 5 girls that are staying there because their family thinks it's safer, or it's not safe to travel because there's like constant, when they're outside, there's constant like fighting in the distance. Like you can hear guns firing, you can hear cannons firing. So like they're in the midst of like the war itself. Um, so there are 5 girls who are staying at the school over the summer, along with the head person, the head teacher, the head person of the school, which is a female, like Nicole Kidman's an older female, and then Claire Danes. So, and who's I don't remember when this movie was made, but she's she looks in her like late 30s, right? Or could have been early 30s in this movie, like what she was portraying. So, yes. So they find a Confederate soldier in the woods. One of the girls do. Not a Confederate soldier, a Yankee. They're Confederates. They find a Yankee soldier in the woods, hurt. They take him in to help. Was Nicole Kidman a ghost? No. They take him in to help nurse him back to health, right? The girls are, of course, like, he's a filthy Yank. Like, we have to report him, because if they put a blue cloth on their gate, it means that if Confederate soldiers come by, that they know that there's a Yankee on the property, or like, dead or something. So like, we have to go and like go and tell the soldiers, our Confederate soldiers, that we have a Yankee here. But they're like, no, we want to nurse him back to health and give him a fighting chance, because he left the Confederacy. Like he was a deserter. Damn Yankees, yeah. So they're nursing him back to health, right? Well, this guy, which is why it's called the Beguiled, charms every single one of them. Every single one. The girls, the youngest is like probably like 10 or 12. Like, talks to them sweetly. It's not anything like, predatory. But, talks to them sweetly, is like, you're my favorite. The older girl, which is Claire, which is the older girl, which is Dakota Fanning's sister. She's like openly flirting with him, and she's probably like 16, I would say. And he doesn't encourage it, but he doesn't discourage it either, but she obviously is finds him attractive. Claire Danes' character, which is a teacher at the school, he tells her, "You're the most delicate beauty I've ever seen," and flirts with her. With the head teacher, Nicole Kidman's character, he's like, was Dakota Fanning the girl in X-Men, the one that could go through walls? I don't think that she was an X-Men, no. I don't know who that was, but I don't think she was an X-Men. Dakota Fanning was in, there was a really well-known, there's all kinds of well-known movies. She was in a lot of when she was a kid, when she was a child. I don't think that she's been in anything like extremely popular since like, not that I know of, since the Twilight series. She was one of the bad vampires. Other than that, like, she's only like, I think the world mostly knows her from her child acting in movies. I'm trying to think of one that you would have seen. Yeah, that was Ellen Page. Well, now Elliot Page, but Ellen Page then, yes. Yeah. So, this guy's like charming, and the head teacher, Nicole Kidman's character, he's like, I totally get what you're like, he was like, it must be difficult running this school. So he's totally playing into her, like, into her as well, even though at first she was the one that was against, like, she was like very against him, but he wins her over. So he has them all beguiled, right? Hence the name of the movie. Well then, so like, what happened? Oh, he told Claire Danes' character, can I come and see you tonight? And she was like, yes. Like, she lived off the property, she lived on the property, but not in the same building as the girls. So he showed him leaving the house. Why did he leave the house? Anyways, he ends up, like, she thinks that he's coming to see her. She hears something out in the hallway. And I guess she did live with the girls then. He heard something out in the hallway, went out in the hallway, found him in the room with the 16-year-old, like, going at it. So, of course, she's just beside herself. He goes after her, and she ends up, like, throwing, like, kind of, like, fighting him off because he's trying to, like, talk to her, right? Like, grabbing a hold of her. Fights him off, throws him down the steps. Like, this long staircase in the house. He gets injured again, like, badly injured. Like, his leg, his calf is, like, completely tore up. Something goes through it, I don't know. It gets completely tore up. So, since they can't take him to a doctor, and they can't bring a doctor there because then they'd be found out, Nicole Kidman's like, we need to cut this leg off. So they cut it off. But he's, like, out of it, of course, because they don't have any pain, anything for the pain. He passes out, wakes up, and is enraged that his leg is cut off halfway. It's like, what have you done to me? Now you, like, blaming them, gaslighting them, and being like, this is your fault. Not even accepting the blame of, like, yeah, I understand why people are upset because I was in this 16-year-old girl's bedroom. And the 16-year-old said that he forced himself on her. But I don't think that was the case. But yeah, anyways. It was... So, here's the thing, though. Here's what drove me crazy. Was that... So this guy is on crutches. Half of a leg. Can barely get around, right? Like, they lock him in the room at first, but he makes his way, like, he busts out of the room. Two grown women, two grown-ass women, a 16-year-old and 4 girls. Okay, the 4 girls, okay. You have 3 women who, you have 3 women who were completely, like, helpless at defending themselves against this crippled man on crutches. They were scared out of their mind at him. Like, they... Even, like, he eventually got a gun. I don't think that he could have fired the gun. Like, I don't think that he could have, but I don't think he could have, like, been a good shot. He was barely standing. He was barely able to keep himself upright. And even before he had a gun, they were like, oh God, what are we going to do? And trying to, like, be like, you can leave, like, you can leave. And he's like, well, where am I going to go now? Like, I only have half a leg. And then he's like, I'm going to take over this place. Things are going to be different from now on. And I'm like, why are you what is going on? Nicole Kidman's character had a gun. And not only did they have a gun, they also had knives in the house. Like, they had a whole kitchen. It completely blew my mind. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I thought it was stupid. I mean, I thought it was like, it was just so weird. It was so weird. I don't understand why that they were so, like, I get that they were both upper crust, like, before the war. They both came from wealthy families. So, like, they wouldn't know defense. But at the same time, you have an injured man threatening you. You have no one to, like, report to. And you know, they would know that in this time, in the time of the Civil War, they could kill him. And they wouldn't be blamed for it. No one would be upset. And yet they were like, oh, like, we can't fight against him. They're completely helpless. Anyways, that was one of the movies I watched. But then they ended up poisoning him with mushrooms. So, because the one girl was really good, like, she would go out and get mushrooms for cooking, and she knew that there were poisoned ones out in the woods. So they got some poisoned mushrooms, put it in his thing. But of course he ate them only after Claire Danes' character went to him and was like, and pretty much like, I don't know what was going on there. I thought she was going to try and play it a different way, but she was pretty much still like enamored with him. Like even after all of this, even after he like did the whole thing with this, you know, like what happened with the 16-year-old. Anyways, anyone who joined in, I'm just describing a movie that I saw that drove me crazy. Supposedly a critically acclaimed movie, or a critically acclaimed writer, I think. It was wild. I wasn't a fan. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Trilena, for the hydrate. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. And surprisingly, that was the second movie I saw yesterday while I was working that was using mushrooms to poison someone. I was like, man, I gotta get on mushrooms. I gotta get with this like poison mushroom thing. Like apparently it's all the rage. All right. That might be enough. Well, actually, let me just go in and just start putting in a little bit of difference in color here to kind of break up this brown. Probably going to start running. There we go. Oh, did I go darker? I meant to go whiter, I think? Or maybe I was trying to go darker at first. Yeah. All right. Okay. I have to look, but I'll be back soon. Okay, cool, Trilena. I have about another hour and 20 minutes of streaming, so it's not a very long stream today. Not right now, at least. Not until Dinkum. Maybe this evening, I don't know. Not this evening, then maybe sometime this weekend. Alright, how is the wall here? I guess I don't really have any wall. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just... Yeah. Yeah, the other movie I saw, I won't say the name of it, but just in case, I mean, I doubt anyone will see it, but it was like about this fashion designer who brought in this protege of sorts that he kind of became infatuated with. And she started like modeling his clothes, and like this was back in probably the 50s, probably. Started modeling his clothes. Eventually, like, she moved into the house, and of course they were having like a little thing, you know. So at one point, like, he got ill over something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe she went like hunted for mushrooms as well to use for cooking. And I think she might have used the wrong no. I think she might have used the wrong mushroom the first time without realizing it. And so he became a little ill. Like, you know, it wasn't that much of it. He became a little ill and she nursed him back to health. Right before that, he would have been kind of like distant, you know, in the relationship. Like he was growing, like kind of just not as passionate as it was. Wasn't really paying attention to her as much as he used to. But then after she nursed him back to health, like he became really like intensely like devoted to her again. And then eventually that started wearing off, you know? Uh and so then I think she realized or read about the mushroom that was poisonous. And so she put a little bit of that into his food. Like not enough to kill him, just enough to make him sick. And so he was like, you know, really ill for a bit. She nursed him back to health. He was the only one she was the only one he wanted to take care of him. And nursed him back to health. No one suspected anything. The doctor was a little suspicious, but that's about it. And he asked her to marry him. They got married. Things started waning again. Things started getting like unsatisfactory for them. They started arguing. And I think that either she told him or he realized that she was using poisonous mushrooms like in his food to like cuz she was starting to do it again, and he noticed it. Like he was in the room and noticed what she was doing. Saw that she was putting the poisonous mushrooms in, didn't say anything. She put them in, gave him the food after she cooked it, and like a weird moment that he just like looked at her and like started taking a bite, ate it. They were both looking at each other. And I think like he realized like, oh, you're feeding me these mushrooms to make me sick, so that way you will have to take care of me. And that's okay. Like, he was completely fine. He was completely okay with being poisoned with mushrooms. Like, it was a weird, like, yes. Like, because she was like, her excuse was sometimes you need to slow down. Like, you need to slow, because he worked constantly. And she was like, sometimes you need to slow down. And I think that he was like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm okay with you poisoning me with mushrooms so I can slow down and you can take care of me. Now that movie, unlike The Beguiled, was well done, well written, well directed. Weird, but well done. It just was like afterwards you're like, oh, okay, that's strange. But I guess if they're both okay with it, then what am I to say about it? You know, like it's not hurting anyone else except them and him. So it's just so weird. Ah, man. Critically acclaimed movies, y'all. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like, because, you know, if I think back, like, I used to be really big into, like, I'm going to go and see all of the Oscar-nominated movies when I was in college, especially. Well, really only when I was in college. And it was interesting sometimes what was, like, up for awards. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand any of this. And you still haven't watched The Usual Suspects. You know, that was on there. Because The Usual Suspects have a lot of like action. Because I can't do anything that has a lot going on as far as action goes. Because that's why like I'm watching these dramas, because it's mostly talking, right? And I can glance up, see a look if it's quiet, and see what they're doing, and then go back to my work. Otherwise, I have to sit there and watch it. Okay, well, I'll try to, if it's on Netflix, I'll try to fit that in. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot. Alright, let me take away these pencil linings. Okay, let me actually just cut those out just in case it's messing with something else. There we go. Alright, we'll save that one. Should I put like a Kaylin maybe? Like maybe someone yelling out, Kaylin. It does have Kevin Spacey in it. Oh, okay, yeah. Understandable. I'll be aware. I'll be aware. Thank you for the warning. We're ink free. Okay. Yeah, I'll have someone saying Kaylin. Oh. Ew. Wait, is this what all of my text is in? Yeah, okay. Oh, right. I have an opacity on this. I think there were a couple movies I've seen that like recently that like were actually pretty good. Oh man. Okay. So, oof, okay. We're gonna have to have, let's see. I can probably, let's see, highlight all of these and highlight. And copy. The 3-2. Oops, whoops. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, let me try to figure out which ones are the ones that I need. Okay, I think they all are. Yeah. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, did it go over something? I don't think so. I think that was my last one of the thing here. Alright, no, actually, I'm going to move this down behind the drawing. So that way I can see what I need to change. No? Oh, fuck. Okay. It was on the same layer. Okay, now it's on a different layer. Oh wait, she's moved over, so... Now remove this under everything else. Okay. Alright, give me a couple seconds. I'm going to eat my yogurt really fast, and I will be right back ASAP. Alright. Mostly back, just cleaning off my glasses. The ever losing battle of cleaning off one's glasses. What? Wait a minute. Oh, I think that was before. Yeah, so what was it I was doing? Oh, I was changing out my nose padding on my glasses because they were getting like nasty. One of them broke off. And how? I don't know. I have no idea. I just looked at it one day and I was like, oh, half of my nose pad is gone. But so I bought a kit, right? To like replace the nose pads. And went to replace. Actually, you know what? I think that might be a different scratch. Great. Cool. Cool. I don't know what that's from. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, I still have my prescription somewhere. You know, for the extra money I have, I'll have to... I really like these glasses, though. Maybe I might still be able to take them back to where I got them when I... Maybe when I go back for the holidays and get the lenses switched out. Shouldn't be too much. Oh, thank you, Bear. Okay, let me put this back. Oh, they still didn't get clean. I need to get some glasses cleaner. That's what I need to get. Okay. All right, let me get this thing off here. Nope, don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah. Get some chapstick. It's in the worst possible place. All right, another like hour. Before your girls got work to do. Let's see here. All right. Where to start? Where to start? Okay, we'll have to go up here because I don't know where that other one's located. Do this. All right, the hands are in a different position. A slightly different color. Oh, it's still not... Oh, because the opacity, Stephanie. The opacity. Excuse me. Hey, Varad. How are you doing? How's your day going so far? Work was quiet. I may have been a bit productive. Ooh, but now I'm ready to unwind. Nice. Going okay. I'm going all right. It is. It is feeling okay. It's feeling better today. Yeah, I haven't had to take any Tylenol, which is nice. I think I actually, like, was able to get some, like, at least 6 hours of restful sleep last night around that. So, I think that helped a ton because it probably had been closer to, like, 4.5 to 5 hours of restful sleep for a few days before that, so. Alright, Ormia's not naked. I'm just trying to get her posed right. Ormia naked is Steph's other Stormfall art project. Yeah, we have visitors this weekend here, so I'm in that kind of, like, you know, what's the way to say it? Of, like, you know, do I feel like peopling? And usually going upstairs involves peopling on weekends like this, so it's either do I feel like talking to people or do I just want to stay in my room for another hour? Is that even a question? I mean, if I want to go upstairs, yes. Which upstairs is where all the food is. So not all the food. I have snacks down here, but that's where the food in my bathroom is, so it's kind of a constant of, like, weighing of, like, what I feel like doing. I guess one, like, movie that I watched that I fairly enjoyed was it was another, like, understated drama called The Lost Daughter. And I can't remember the woman's name who plays in it. She's a British actress. And I can't remember her name. I've seen her in a couple of other things. Was it? Wait, is she the one in Broadchurch? Maybe. She might be the female in Broadchurch. I haven't seen Broadchurch. But yes. So she's the female lead in Broadchurch. I think it's a lead. She's on like all of the like pictures for Broadchurch. I super love her in the things that I've seen her in. Yes, Olivia Colman. Yeah. But I watched a independent film over the past week that was she like went out to like it was a bit of a letdown. The ending was a bit of like those just very understated. She went out to vacation in like this like tropical place, but mostly I won't like go into like everything that happens, but mostly it explores like that some people aren't just like some people are just not good at parenting, and that's like not that she was abusive, but like some people just like because of the pressures of society are like they feel like okay, it's just what you do is like have children with the person that you're partnered with or maybe not partnered with. But you should want children. You should have children. And so I feel like that she had a couple of kids with her partner at the time. And it was just like, obviously not her thing. Like, you know, she was a professor, she was studying on her work, and it was just really difficult for her being a mother. And so she ended up leaving them. Like with the father. So they still had the father there, but she ended up leaving. So it was a very interesting look at like kind of the other shoe of like, you know, you always see the other side of like, oh, their mother left them. Like, you know, she just left, how selfish, you know. But it was showing like the whole movie was about her side of like why she left, like what a hard time it was for her. Like it just drove her anxiety, and I don't think that she really had anyone to really like turn to while she was a mother to like talk, you know, to talk to them or anything. Like it was just kind of like her partner and the kids, you know, or that's what it showed. And so she eventually like, you know, she went away for like a professor thing. Like, you know, she was helping someone with a speech across the like I think across the country or like in another country. And she just kind of was like, oh, like this is what it feels like to like I remember what it feels like to not be a mother. And she chose it. And it didn't villainize her, which I appreciate. Like, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I really liked it that it was kind of giving you like the flip side of the coin than what you usually see, and didn't try to like make it look like that she was a horrible person. It's like, sure, maybe a little like maybe selfish of her, but she's not a bad person. She just did what she felt like that she had to do for herself, to like get her sanity and her mental well-being back. And then like she did say that like eventually like I think she was gone for like how long was she gone for? 3 years? I think before she got back in contact, like before she was like, you know, came back to see them. And then like she talked about that she was still in like she had kept in contact with them, but she just needed that like time like of not being a mother and doing what she wanted to do. And I'm not saying that like every situation like that is good, but like I don't know. It's interesting, I think. Like I recently had a scare of a friend like completely kind of absconding from her family for a couple of days, and it turned out that it was not the best situation, but they're safe. they're fine. But like while that was happening, I was completely bereft. And my friend, Michelle, said something that like watching that movie really made me think about was that she was like, well, maybe, you know, because I was just like, she always does it for like, she's always around her family. Like, she never goes anywhere without her family, I feel like, you know, it's always about her family. And she was like, well, maybe, and Michelle was like, well, maybe she's doing something for her, you know? And in the moment, I was like, no. And like watching that movie, I was like, I mean, maybe. That wasn't the situation. But like, it was just an interesting, like, perspective that I never would have been like, oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm done. I'll step off the soapbox. I feel like it's a little bit of a controversial opinion, but, yeah. All right. I don't know if that's the right way that her foot should be. Oh yeah, we can put that over too. Oops, not the right color. Okay. Sorry for the throat clearing. I think it's allergies or something. How dare you clear your throat? I must have arrived for the second half of the stream. Stiff is in intense concentration mode. You really did. You really did. I think I have like a half hour to go. It's only 2 hours stream today, so. Look, I think I've just like talked myself out. Like I think that's when it gets to like high concentration mode, is I've completely talked all I can like describe about things that I've been doing, and then it's just like, okay, time to work. I don't know what looks so weird about this. Oops. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. How do I get out of this? There we go. Brought up my the graphic card thing. Yeah, max concentration activated. Absolutely, Charlena. Actually, that would be on her other side, wouldn't it? Because she would draw it. Took me a long time to pick up of like... The scabbards are not usually on the side that you draw them on, but on the other side. And not the side that you use to like fight, I guess is what I mean. Why do you look weird? That'll do. That looks a little bit better. Alright, so Kaylin is falling. Hitting the ground, I guess. Oh yeah, Stephanie. You idiot. Mm. Oh. Oof. I need some protein. Alright, so I should have done a different layer because I think I'm gonna have to either make her bigger or make Ormia smaller, which she wouldn't be moving much from where she was before. So, or like move Kayla down a bit in the frame, just a tad. So yeah, of course. Of course, that means I'm gonna have to cut around everything. I don't know if she'd be bigger, but I do want her to be down in the frame a little bit more. There we go. That way she's... Ormia's just getting to her, and she'll be just hitting the floor. Look at these pencil frames, or these pencil lights, that way I can see what I'm doing. They're everywhere. Oh, did we lose our music? Why did you pause the music, YouTube? It said video pause. Continue watching? Yes. Did I tell you to stop? No. Okay. I could do with a nap. You know what I'm not going to do today? Nap. Alright, so that. Alright. Let's take. Where's 2? Where's page 2? Oh, it's right here. Oh, no, it's not page 2 I want. It's page 3.1. We'll add that to this one. All right, see, these 2 frames are going to probably, definitely be in succession. So let me see if I need to change anything here. So Caitlin falls, Caitlin hits the ground. I'll put like a little bit of like some kind of action lines, like some impact. Armia gets to her. Maybe I'll put like, are you okay? Emil's moving forward, but skin tone's a little bit off. Now, oops, sorry. Oh, thank you. We have, yeah, a couple things are going to be different about it soon. We're getting some little animations to go to happen. So Dan's getting those together. But give you a little preview for those, not preview, but just to let you know, like, the cat's tail and its foot's going to like kick back and forth here and there, and the tail is going to flip every few minutes. The lights are going to sway a bit. As well as, I'm going to have to find a different place for the Stormfall Initiative logo. Because, let me unlock that. The little phone over here is going to light up with like a notification. Yeah, super excited. So we'll have to find something different for somewhere else for this that doesn't like cover up anything. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Here we go. We'll just put it right there. Right there. It's perfect. Perfect. Or you know what? Like I could like maybe something like that. Stormfall Initiative. This is me talking. Eucalyptus. Oh yeah, that's where Felix was. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I took it off of there. And I was like, oh, I had a character back there. Interesting. I love the cat. It reminds me of my little fluffy baby. Oh, Trilena. It's actually modeled after, I love it. I love this logo where it's at. It's actually modeled after my cat, a cat that I had, Jack, was his name. But yeah, he was my baby. He lived for like, I think 14 years, I think. You know what? And I the other day during a stream, I mentioned that like Midnight lived until he's 4. I think Midnight was like, that was my first cat. I think he was like 18 when he passed. But yeah, that's Jack. Jack passed in 2020, of course. I can laugh about it now, but yeah, my little baby Jack. But yeah, he was my fluffy boy. He was scared to go through doorways. My baby is really young, adopted during 2010. His name is Salem because it's aw, so cute. Yeah, my first cat, Midnight, was mostly all black. He had a little like white piece on his chest, but I think that was it. Otherwise, he was, you know. And thunderstorms, yeah. What's really interesting is that, and I swear by this, I'm not exaggerating, is that I feel like there was a time where I'm from, West Virginia, like we had, especially like in the capital area, the Charleston area, where I lived at the time, we had an earthquake there. Like not a huge one, it was just a tremor. Like they felt it in some of the buildings downtown, but it wasn't anything bad. I swear that before that, he was not afraid of like thunder. But after that, anytime that like we'd have a thunderstorm or it would, and then he started getting afraid of rain. So anytime it would rain a lot and like you could hear it because we had like we had a metal roof. He could hear that it was raining, and so anytime that it would rain really hard, like he would immediately like be like I would try to drown it out so he couldn't hear it, but then eventually like if it kept on he would, and he would like raise his head and like watch the window, even though I kept my curtains closed most of the time. He would watch the window like, is that rain? Is that what I think it is? And yeah. Speaking of thunderstorms, there was a tornado Wednesday about 2 miles. What? Are we talking about the love of Steph's life, Jack? Yeah, talking about my baby. That's wild for Oth. That's oh man. I hopefully it didn't do too much damage. But yeah, he was, and so he knew that with rain sometimes came thunder, thunderstorms, and then as soon as he would hear thunder. Sometimes before, he would hide. he would immediately go somewhere and like go under something, under the bed, under anywhere. Yeah, poor baby. But yeah, doorways. He hated doorways. Yeah, it's new. Yeah, I get that, Varoth. Anytime he would go through a doorway, he would jump through it. He hated doorways. Like, he was so scared. I don't know what I did to him as a child, as a kitten, that made him afraid of doorways, but here we are. Although I didn't have him the first part of, like, I adopted him and he lived outside. He had lived outside for a little bit before that, with his siblings. And I guess maybe his mom. But I got him pretty young, though. And then he stayed in my room for so he stayed in one room for a few months before he was let out into the rest of the house. And something somewhere traumatized the poor baby. Salem is okay with storms, but my brother's cat isn't okay. She hides under the couch. Maybe Mothman owned him and he ran away. Yeah, no, actually it was a friend that I used to work with. Her neighbor had a cat. And it started coming over to their house, and this is, I don't know. I don't know how, I feel like this is a very country thing. Like, like a very, Appalachian sort of, people just sometimes, keep their cats outside and just let them, they call them barn cats or even just outdoor cats, and they just run around. Yeah, and so the cat started coming up to her house, and she started feeding it because it kept it seemed like it wanted food and seemed like it was hungry. And she talked to her neighbors and was like, "Hey, your cat's coming over here," and they were just like, "Okay." And the cat was pregnant, had the kittens at her house, and the neighbors didn't want to take any ownership of them. They just, yeah. I think she might have ended up keeping the cat because they just didn't care. They didn't care. And it kept coming over there. So, yeah, so it was 4 or 5 of them, I think, that they ended up giving it for adoption. I'm way too zoomed in on this. No one's going to have it that zoomed in. Okay. All right, about time to wrap up. I feel like I haven't, again, I'm hoping to kind of get this into my schedule more, but we'll see. I'm trying to make it happen, but also trying not to make myself feel bad if it doesn't happen because I'm busy and I have other stuff to do. But it is something I would like to do because I want to get it done. So hopefully we'll have some more progress with this the next time that I have a stream. That would be great. Yeah. Staff busy? You don't say. No. All right. Well, as much as we didn't get done this today, because Stephanie likes to chatter, I'm going to save this. Let me see if we have someone else streaming since we got 6 viewers here. Oh, yeah. Well, we might have some Dinkin later, but we're not 100%, I don't think. Everyone take a drink. But I haven't heard from Dan the Man, so I think he was going to make the call. Let's see here. I like to head over to a art streamer. Oh shoot. Now I'm getting a One Ring commercial. Listen, I don't have time for this. Twitch? Twitch, I don't have time for this right now. I gotta go to the bathroom. Twitch, please. Twitch. Yeah, Trisha's doing, she's doing a Jackbox thing for subscribers, though. So I don't know if non-subscribers can even, like, they probably maybe can watch. But I'm going to go over to I'm going to go over to a fellow art streamer, I think. I mean, not that Trisha's not, of course, is an art streamer, but one that's doing some art today. So let's see here. Raid. We're going to go over to Lilia Draws. Looks like she's working on some character art. So give her a caw-caw, or give them a caw-caw in the chat. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Let me see what I'm looking like here, because I know... Yeah, thank y'all so much. If you haven't followed, please consider following. We have a lot of content on the channel. We have art streams, gaming streams, D&D streams. We have more D&D streams that are on the way over the next few months. So a lot of stuff going on here. You know, let me pop up the schedule really quick if you haven't seen it before. But yeah, you've been watching, this is the Stormfall Initiative every Friday. Tomorrow, we should be having In Extremis in the evening. I know Obsidian Scar is off this week. I also know that we have a few people out for In Extremis tomorrow, so I think that we're kind of doing a kind of feel to see who's still available to D&D tomorrow evening. So stay tuned. If you, let me pop this in here really quick, just get that started. And let me just do a Discord link really quick. But yeah. All right, friends. Bye!